Tonight on CTV News at 6. He fled the country. Sudbury police say a murder suspect was arrested when he re-entered Canada. They say it's a real issue.
If we are going to have bail reform, we need to have new buildings in order to manage our inmate population.
Correctional officers are sounding the alarm about overcrowding and violence at the North Bay Jail. And it will take a few years to build.
The new state-of-the-art emergency department will include 29 acute treatment spaces in a modernized, comfortable space, improved infection prevention and control measures.
The province announces money for a major expansion at the Timmins Hospital.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us on this Monday. Some tense moments this weekend for residents in the Latchford and Temagami areas. OPP closed Highway 11 during the weekend while hunting for a man considered armed and dangerous. The situation began Friday evening when an emergency alert was issued, warning the public that a man armed with a long gun entered the woods southeast of Latchford. A shelter-in-place order was then issued and the highway remained closed. Officers located the wanted man Sunday and gunfire between police and the suspect took place. The 34-year-old man was taken into custody and sent to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. An OPP dog was treated for a minor injury. A lot of resources were brought in to track down the suspect, and the community certainly appreciated their presence.
I really do want to give them big kudos because they had to bring in a lot of people. They set up their command station at our town office, and yes, they put their lives on the line for us, and you got to thank them immensely for that.
And the Special Investigations Unit has been called in and is probing the shooting. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Natural Resources is also fighting a forest fire in the Latchford area. It's believed to be connected to the manhunt over the weekend. Police in Sault Ste. Marie arrested a 22-year-old after a nearly 10-hour standoff. Late Saturday night, police received a weapons complaint on East Street after a person refused to leave a multi-dwelling building. Another person suffered serious injuries and was sent to hospital. Police say the suspect and the victim got into an argument on Friday. Police later found 2 guns and a knife. The suspect returned Saturday evening, entered the unit where the victim was, and that person was stabbed. Police spent the night talking the 22-year-old out of the residence. One person is charged with 15 offenses, including assault, various weapons charges, and unlawfully in a dwelling. One of the suspects wanted in the August shooting at a Sudbury apartment building has been arrested. The shooting took place on Paris Street at the end of August, killing 2 people. A suspect was arrested the night of the shooting while 3 others escaped. Romain Sam, one of the men wanted in connection to the murder, was caught at Pearson International Airport re-entering the country Saturday. Sam is charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder and was remanded to custody after a bail hearing yesterday. And 2 suspects are still at large. Police are still trying to identify them. If anyone has information on these 2, they should call police or Crime Stoppers. A trial in the death of a Sault Ste. Marie man is now underway nearly 5 years after it happened. On trial is Montana Lewis. The now 22-year-old is accused of first-degree murder in the death of Samuel Graham. The crime happened on Muriel Drive in the East End on the night of November 12, 2020. 19-year-old Samuel Graham Jr. was stabbed and died of his injuries. Nearly 3 dozen of Graham's family members were in court today. It was the first day of what's expected to be a multi-week trial. Both the Crown and defense agreeing on a trial by judge rather than by jury. Witness testimonies have begun and are expected to continue for much of the week. A deadly crash on Highway 17 near Espanola has claimed the lives of 2 people. Yesterday afternoon, provincial police responded to a collision on Highway 17 between Jacqueline and Sandy Bay Roads in McCarroll. 2 people were pronounced dead at the scene, and another was taken to hospital with unknown injuries. Investigators and collision reconstructionists kept the highway closed for several hours. They were asking anyone with information or dash cam footage to contact police or Crime Stoppers. A cyclist was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries in the Sioux after a collision involving a pickup truck. The crash happened late Friday night near Wellington Street East and Kohler Street. Police say no charges have been laid, but their investigation is ongoing. A 27-year-old man from Sault Ste. Marie is facing multiple charges after his vehicle struck a building in September. According to police, the driver slammed a vehicle into this building on Churchill Boulevard at a high rate of speed, then fled the scene. The man was located at his residence where he fought officers trying to arrest him, biting both of them and causing serious injury to one. The man was later released after a bail hearing, but police have laid new charges following their investigation. Police saying the driver was traveling at more than 240 kilometers an hour. The 27-year-old now faces 4 new charges, including dangerous operation of a motor vehicle and driving while under suspension. Police on Manitoulin Island seized more than $14,000 in drugs and cash Friday. Wikwemikong Tribal Police say a routine vehicle stop led to the arrest of 2 women. They pulled the vehicle over and police determined the passenger was in violation of a court order. With the support from the UCCM Anishinaabe Police K-9 unit, meth, cocaine and fentanyl were found along with weapons and cash. The 2 women, one from Sudbury, the other from Garba, were charged with several offenses, including 3 counts each of trafficking and possession of a weapon. While shifting gears, we're coming off a beautiful weekend, but the tide is turning. More clouds and showers today. With more on that, here's CTV's Rick Wyman.
Tony, take a look at the calendar. Here we are in October, and we are approaching Thanksgiving, so a bit of a change in the forecast. Just a great-looking weekend for the most part. And, of course, precipitation has to roll in Monday just to change things up, so to speak. Here's our systems map. We'll take a look at our current conditions, and you can see traces of snow in the north of northeastern Ontario. And, again, you know that's coming eventually. That's sifting easterly. So, again, we've got some rain and some cooler temperatures. We'll talk about that and a lot more. But first, we've got our current temperatures coming up, Tony. Big difference from what we talked about on Friday, so stick around for that in just a couple of minutes. Back to you.
Thanks so much for that, Rick. It's getting a makeover. Still to come on CTV News at 6. Major renovations are coming to the hospital in Timmins. Right now, we're off to Algonquin Provincial Park. There's a live webcam courtesy of Algonquin. It's 25 Celsius. We'll be back in a few minutes.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Representatives from the aviation industry across Ontario are in Sudbury this week. We get details from CTV's Angela Gemmell.
Members of the Airport Management Council of Ontario get an update from the Northeast Regional Director. Although she shared good news, her biggest concern was the recent departure of Air Canada from the airport in North Bay.
If it can happen to one of our sister airports, it can happen to any of us, right? We're all trying to provide a service to our community. We're all economic engines to our community, but if you take away an important service, it is a detrimental impact.
Verrilli was a guest speaker at the annual AMCO Convention and Trade Show for the aviation industry in Ontario. Along with networking, it also provides opportunities to learn from others on how to address industry-specific issues. For the Northeast, that concern continues to be recovering from the pandemic and airlines reducing services.
Some of the airports are working together to speak with some of the airlines to come back and make sure that those routes are available.
The airlines are going to put the planes where they're going to get the most profit, and so it's the regional markets that really suffer from that, and the lack of pilots and the lack of equipment in order to feed the regional airports, because they're going to do the international flights more than they're going to focus on regional flights.
Those regional connectivity concerns were made evident last month in North Bay, but Air Canada's departure could provide an opening for other alternatives.
With Air Canada's announcement, the airlines that we had been working with have certainly taken it as a higher priority to revisit serving North Bay and the community and the market that we had. So it does open up or reinforce some of the opportunities that we have with them.
CTV News will have more on the event tomorrow night as talks shift to crime trends in aviation. Angela Gamble, CTV News, Sudbury.
Correctional officers in North Bay are sounding the alarm about overcrowding and an increase in violence at the North Bay jail. They held a picket this afternoon calling for immediate change. CTV's Eric Tashner reports.
These correctional workers say enough is enough.
What do we need? Some leadership.
As violence inside these walls and lack of management has reached a crisis level. Morale has reached an all-time low.
If we are going to have bail reform, we need to have new buildings in order to manage our inmate population.
OPSU, the union representing picketing correctional workers, says inmate on inmate assaults in the jail has increased since 2017 from 71 to 114 incidents in 2024. When it comes to inmate on staff assaults, there were 10 in the North Bay jail in 2017. As of the end of June, there have already been 10 so far this year.
They tend to assault each other. Sometimes we are caught in the crosshairs when we're trying to separate them. We need corporals here that can investigate and adjudicate inmate misconducts.
The jail holds 121 inmates and is considered a maximum security facility. It holds criminals convicted of lesser offenses all the way to serious charges.
We're doing business in an institution that was built in the 1930s. We need a newer jail.
The union says the facility is currently full, and oftentimes inmates are transported to other jails that are also full. In response, the Ministry of the Solicitor General, which oversees Ontario prisons, says in part, our government is making record investments to update infrastructure and improve safety at correctional facilities across the province. This includes our $500 million investment to transform and expand correctional facilities to address overcrowding and improve services. There are approximately 100 staff members stationed at the jail, but the union says it's challenging to bring new recruits in due to the stressful and difficult nature of the job.
We're doing enhanced screening of our officers and inmates, but we need more. Like I said, we need infrastructure, we need resources.
And workers fear tensions inside could escalate even further if conditions are not addressed soon. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
The province announced today it's supporting a new emergency room at the Timmins and District Hospital. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
Within the next couple of years, the Timmins and District Hospital will have an enlarged and renovated emergency department. The hospital is receiving $1.5 million in one-time funding as an exceptional circumstance project grant to support infrastructure needs.
The new state-of-the-art emergency department will include 29 acute treatment spaces in a modernized, comfortable space, improved infection prevention and control measures, and a dedicated area for emergency mental health care to connect more people to enhanced mental health and addiction support where and when they need it most.
The new ER will be 4 times larger than the current department.
Right now, our emergency department is operating at 5 visits per square foot, nearly double the provincial standard of 2.1 to 2.6 visits per square foot. That's unsustainable. This expansion will allow us to deliver quality of care in a space that can respond to the needs of our community.
Timmins and District Hospital serves approximately 110,000 people, including First Nations communities.
Our people commute an hour to access emergency services here in Timmins. Waiting any length of time beyond that is difficult for anybody, especially in those states that they are when they are arriving at the emergency room. So I think that this is a wonderful project.
Expansions will require more employees. The province has a program for paramedics who train in the north to stay here, providing tuition and supports, and similar programs for other healthcare staff.
We have a very similar program that started actually in nursing province-wide. In the Northern Ontario School of Medicine, we've doubled the number of seats available for students who want to train, practice, and ultimately stay in family medicine.
Once final square footage is determined for the new ER, the project will be tendered and awarded, and a construction schedule will be confirmed. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
And still in Timmins, city officials are urging striking transit workers to return to the bargaining table. Employees have been walking the picket line for days now after rejecting the city's latest offer. The union says the city was leaving the service people behind. According to the city's website, its offer includes a base rate adjustment of 4.5% for drivers and 8% for mechanics. In a statement, the city's CAO says it remains committed to reaching a final agreement that balances staff needs while being responsible to taxpayers. Back now for a check on your current conditions. Here's Rick.
Thanks, Tony. Current conditions, big difference, as I mentioned just a couple of moments ago, compared to what we witnessed on Friday evening heading into the weekend, northeastern Ontario. The difference here, we've got some precipitation, and in northern sectors of northeastern Ontario, traces of snow north of Moosonee. That'll come eventually. Let's take a look at some of our temperatures right now. Moosonee overcast at 12, Cochrane sun and cloud at 11. Timmins, we've got 12 overcast, Kapuskasing overcast at 11 as well. 14 in Chapleau, overcast. Wawa, cloudy skies at 14. Sault Ste. Marie, mainly cloudy at 12 as well. Down Highway 69, Perry Sound, some sun and cloud, very warm, 27 with the Humidex, 28 in North Bay with the Humidex as well. Precipitation in Timiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, your temperatures 13 and 18 in Timiskaming Shores. Sudbury Nickel Belt, we've had a bit of a sprinkle earlier. It stopped at the moment, but at least in Sudbury, 21, Espanola 20 with rain, Elliott Lake overcast and threatening, and Gore Bay, cloudy skies and 16 degrees. 7-day forecast and our pick of the day, Tony. It's a great shot of a lake taken by one of our fellow colleagues. You'll like it. It's all coming up. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. There is a change at a northern political organization. Next on CTV News at 6. The mayor of Kapuskasing is replacing Danny Whalen as head of Phenom. And Prime Minister Carney is traveling to Washington to meet with President Trump. An update now on the fate of Cap Paper in Kapuskasing. On Friday, we reported that both senior levels of government had agreed to a path forward, providing short-term stability for Cap Paper, while a long-term plan is finalized. Today, at an announcement in Timmins, Deputy Premier and Minister of Health Sylvia Jones said while Ontario has agreed to invest $7 million to ensure jobs stay in Kapuskasing, it needs the federal government to come on board.
What I know is we don't know how long and what the tariffs are ultimately going to look like. But we need to make sure that the manufacturing and businesses that are operating in the province of Ontario today and are being impacted have the support of the federal and provincial government. I think our actions last week showed that we are at the table and we want to continue to support that community, and we will do that, but we do need the federal government to do the same.
A huge rally last week saw hundreds of people gather in the middle of town, calling on both the federal and provincial governments to act. The city of Huntsville has received a major investment from the province, all being used to boost innovation in the forestry sector. CTV's Mike Lang has more.
In the face of an active trade war,
the Ontario government is investing $10 million in Dakin, North America, right here in Huntsville.
The province providing a boost to the manufacturer, turning one of Muskoka's most vast resources into an innovative local product.
This is a product that is unique, and it's going to make a definite improvement in the housing construction. A great fit for what we're trying to accomplish here in Ontario and building more homes, more communities with Ontario-made wood.
The product, wood panels sourced from the region's underused poplar trees. The provincial investment is supporting Daiken's $70 million project of turning these panels into flooring, recreational vehicle parts, and modular housing.
We have special equipment to make our new products in here, as well as a diligent employee and excellent management team.
And thanks to the Japan-based manufacturer's Huntsville facility, Daiken says it can produce panels that offer better strength, flexibility, and screw retention, all at a lower cost compared to imported material. The province says its support of Daiken is part of the plan to protect the forest sector in the face of U.S. tariffs.
By choosing Huntsville, you have chosen to strengthen Ontario's forestry sector, bolster the resilience of our supply chain, and create good-paying jobs for northern families, jobs that they can count on.
The investment expected to create 10 new local jobs and support 128 existing local jobs.
This is such an incredible vote of confidence, not only in the town of Huntsville, but our entire region.
Daikin expects to bring their new wood panels to market by the spring of 2026 and says it already has interested customers in wood flooring and automotive interiors. At the same time, the province says today's investment will help support 28 forest sector businesses throughout the region. Mike Lang, CTV News, Huntsville.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is off to Washington again for another high-stakes meeting with U.S. President Trump. While the Carney government is trying to temper expectations, there is pressure on the Prime Minister to find some tariff relief for hard-hit sectors like steel and aluminum. CTV's Mike LeCouture reports.
Canadian officials are cautiously optimistic that tomorrow's meeting could pave the way for some relief on steel tariffs. And politicians from both sides of the border are hoping for the same.
I'll be very blunt. You never know what comes out of a meeting with President Trump.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford is hoping for some tariff relief, but says the U.S. president will say one thing one day and then change course the next. At a gathering of governors and premiers from around the Great Lakes, Pennsylvania's Josh Shapiro said tariffs are hurting the U.S.
We're still seeing prices go way up because the president decided to push the tariff button and drive up costs on the American people. It is dangerous, the rhetoric he's engaged in, and his practices are making things cost more.
U.S. tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum remain at 50%, while Trump is increasing levies on other products like softwood lumber and wood furniture. One former special advisor on Canada-U.S. relations for then Prime Minister Justin Trudeau believes Tuesday's meeting could yield some progress.
Either because you hope that you're close to an agreement and you would like to push it over the finish line with a signature moment and a handshake and an opportunity, or to push forward on something that's stalled or slowed.
Expectations are high from opposition leader Pierre Poilievre. In a letter to the Prime Minister, the Conservative leader demanded Carney keep his campaign promise to negotiate a win, including the removal of all tariffs on Canadian goods. A White House spokesperson, Caroline Leavitt, says trade will be one of the many issues discussed between Carney and Trump when they meet in the Oval Office. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
And there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
Here we go, Tony. We're keeping our eyes on the forecast, of course, heading into the Thanksgiving weekend coming up. Forecast radar right now, we've got some precipitation this evening and overnight. We'll check out some of the figures in just a couple of moments. And again, some cooler temperatures for the week. So get ready, because you know that's coming, and it'll get a little colder in just a few more weeks. Anyways, according to Environment Canada's forecast, expecting a warmer than usual summer, but those colder temperatures will creep in every now and then. Overnight in Greater Sudbury, 10 with showers, 6 in showers, Sault Ste. Marie, Timmins, 6 a chance of showers, Temiskaming Shores, 11 in showers, in North Bay, showers and 13. So easy math there. Moosonee, chance of showers, Caphurst at 5, chance of showers, a few clouds, Wawa, Gore Bay, showers at 11 and 14 showers in Parry Sound. And now our numbers right across the board. Sudbury, Nickelville, 7-day forecast. Here we go. Tuesday, clearing tomorrow, 15. And 11 degrees on Wednesday. Thursday, 14 degrees, 16 on Friday, 17 sun and cloud, and 18 on Sunday as well, with the sun and cloud all above normal. Meanwhile, let's take a look and see what's happening in Sault Ste. Marie this hour. We've got clearing for tomorrow, 16, 12. Wednesday, Thursday, 15, some sunshine. Friday, chance of showers. Saturday, some cloud cover, 16. And Sunday, we've got sun and cloud, 17 degrees above normal as usual. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, chance of showers for tomorrow and on Wednesday, 13 and 8, your daytime highs. 14 Thursday, sunshine. Friday, we've got the chance of showers, 60% and 14, 15, 19 Saturday and Sunday, your daytime highs with sun and cloud. How about Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake? Gradual clearing for tomorrow, mainly sunny. Tuesday, 16 degrees, 9 on Wednesday, sun and cloud. Thursday, sunshine, 13. Chance of showers Friday, 16, 15 and 18 Saturday and Sunday. Part of the long weekend with sun and cloud. Again, those temperatures well above normal at this time of the year, sitting at around 12 degrees. And a look now at North Bay, West Nipissing. Showers tomorrow, 17, 11 Wednesday, sun and cloud. Thursday, sunshine at 12. And Friday, chance of showers, 30%, high of 16. 16 Saturday, sun and cloud. Sunday, well, 18 degrees, sun and cloud. We're going to keep our fingers crossed for a nice day come Thanksgiving Monday, coming up just, well, a couple of days away. Can hardly wait for that. Lots of turkey on the table. Let's have a look now at our pick of the day. This comes from our colleague, Shelley. Shelley, this is the shot, Crazy Creek, just off the Spanish River. So again, taken recently. The fall change, the water, the reflection, great shot for this time of the year. Perhaps you can scan the code, send us your pick, and your pick could be on tomorrow for the weather pick of the day. Stick around. Tony has more news coming up after the break.
The Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities, or FNOM, has elected new leadership. CTV's Lindsay Alick has the details.
Danny Whalen is being recognized for his 15 years of service with the FNOM board, including the past 8 as president. He says he's most proud of the work done to secure the Northern Ontario Regional Development Support Fund. It's an assistance program for municipalities that are affected by resource extraction.
We've lobbied for 25, 30 years. And under Minister Rickford, I was able to work with him and get this pilot project in place. And it was $75 million over 5 years. So in the case of my own municipality, that's an extra $250,000 a year. And it has had an impact.
He says FNOM continues to work with the Minister of Northern Economic Development and Growth, George Peary, to make it permanent. Meantime, he says the reason he didn't put his name forward for presidency this time was because he says there is nothing wrong with new ideas.
I think we're on the right track, but sometimes just the way you approach things, if you can just change your approach a little, you might change your benefit from that.
The mayor of Kapuskasing and former first vice president Dave Plourde will move into the role.
It's not anything new really for us. We have the same people around the table. I'm fortunate to have some really good people with me. Danny stays on as past president, so I'm lucky to have the history and everything that's required to represent the people of Northern Ontario again.
Plourde says as for main priorities moving forward, many communities are facing the same problems related to tariffs. So he wants to get as much input from members to ensure FNOM is representing them the best way possible. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Concerns over convictions, notably for charges laid through the Highway Traffic Act, prompted the NDP to step up today and call out the government for tougher penalties. CTV's John Woodward has that story.
That white SUV is running a stop sign on Shaw Street in Toronto straight into the path of a cyclist. The cyclist survived, the driver was charged, but months later those charges were dropped.
The simple slap on the wrist of the Highway Traffic Act ticket and penalty is not even administered.
Part of a pattern that CTV News and W5 reported on last week. Among some 250,000 Highway Traffic Act charges dropped before trial.
Ontario's justice system is failing its basic promises of fairness, timeliness, and public safety.
Today, NDP Justice critic Kristen Wong-Tam highlighted higher rates when you include those charges withdrawn at trial. Nearly 9,000 careless driving charges, almost a third of the total laid. 9,300 driving while suspended charges, again almost a third. And 5,500 stunt driving charges withdrawn, or around 4 in 10. Put together, that's 338,000 charges that never see the light of day, more than 1 in 10.
If there are no consequences to offenses, there are no consequences to crimes committed, then we become a land of lawlessness.
Wong-Tam calling for better funding of the justice system, a prosecutors' union saying they need more people to do the work.
Local 79 sees there being a staffing crisis in the prosecutor's office.
The Ford government pointing to roadside suspensions that police can lay directly. The governing PCs are also looking to remove automated speed cameras years after they passed laws allowing them.
I was really badly hurt. I had multiple fractures to my pelvis.
Anna Pratt was hit on her bike in 2022. The charges there were dropped.
I really was beyond disappointed. I was upset. I was angry. And I really felt that I had been completely ignored by the system.
A system that in hundreds of thousands of cases lets drivers who do things like this go unpunished. John Woodward, CTV News.
If you're buying a new or used car, you may be pitched gap insurance. It can pay off your loan if you owe more than a car is worth. Gap insurance can be expensive, and as one viewer found out, it doesn't cover everything if your car is written off or stolen. CTV's Pat Foran has details.
In March of this year, Sujesh Putinvitil of Mississauga bought a 2023 Audi A4. Unfortunately, in June, just 3 months later, the car was stolen.
Middle of the night from my driveway.
With financing, he paid almost $54,000 for the car. Included in the price, he also paid for a 3-year maintenance package, a 6-year extended warranty, and gap insurance. Gap insurance is guaranteed asset protection. In the event your vehicle is totaled or stolen, it pays off your loan if you owe more than your car is worth.
I contacted the gap insurance. So they said they are not going to cover everything.
When the car was stolen, Putinvitil's insurance company paid just over $39,000 for the car, and the gap insurance paid almost $6,400. But there is still an amount owing of $6,900. That's because gap insurance doesn't cover things like warranties and maintenance packages.
Since I haven't used any of them, and I'm using my car only for 3 months, they should refund that to me.
Oftentimes, a lot of those products don't add any value to the vehicle. So if your vehicle is written off, but you owe thousands of dollars for all of the add-ons that you purchased, well, you're on the hook for that.
Car Help Canada says dealerships pitch expensive add-ons that may not be worth buying, and if you do, and your car is written off in an accident or stolen, you might not be reimbursed for them. If you're considering gap insurance, make sure you know what's covered before buying it.
Not only is gap insurance often very overpriced, but it's a product for a problem that should not exist to begin with.
Putinvitil says his dealer offered to refund $600 for the maintenance package, and the warranty company offered him $250. He would still owe $6,000 for a car he no longer has.
Since I owe like $6,000, I don't have any plan to buy a car.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Almost 100 people from across the province were in Sudbury this weekend for a deaf seniors retreat. The 3-day event was designed to combat loneliness and bring the community together. CTV's Amanda Hicks has that story.
It was a weekend of smiles and connection as the deaf retreat for seniors wrapped up with a final stop at Science North. Hosted by the Bob Rumble Centre, this was the first time the event has been held in Sudbury.
People from all over Ontario, and some of them haven't seen each other in 25, 30 years, so it's really terrific that they're all here. The services that we have scan the entire province, and we just kind of opened here in Sudbury, and that's the really important thing, that we're here to celebrate that as well.
It was a jam-packed 3 days that included nature walks, line dancing, making dream catchers, and a presentation given by a deaf Indigenous woman. Over 50 attendees came from the Toronto area, while more than 30 participants traveled in from across the Northeast. Webwood's Denise Jarbeau was one of them and says she enjoyed meeting new people.
Everybody signs differently, and you try to figure out what people are saying. And I'm an LSQ user, and we are socializing with ASL. Not everybody's francophone in the room, so, you know, I like learning from other people, and I really did enjoy that this weekend.
This year, the Bob Rumble Centre officially opened its doors in Sudbury, giving the deaf community in the north a new resource. Officials say its presence helped fill a significant gap, not only in essential services, but also in social connection.
We've had people from Mexico, Peru, Barbados throughout the summer that have come. So it's been a really, exhilarating thing to see a lot of deaf people coming to our center and meeting people and not feeling isolated when they come to the north. People are language deprived because they're not socializing. And it's important for them to keep their language because it's their language.
With the retreat a success, Lamondin says programming will continue to ramp up as the new center aims to be a year-round resource for the community. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
All dressed up and a place to go. Still ahead on CTV News at 6. We take you to a unique fundraiser in Sudbury for a local food bank.
Clothing consideration provided by
Fashion Fair. Beautiful clothing for today's woman, where quality makes the difference.
Many in the municipality of Huron Shores are going wild over the bald eagle right now. The salmon have begun their run, which has made for some fantastic viewing in Iron Bridge. Town officials are asking people to be safe and responsible and don't park along the highway. They're also asking bird watchers to send in their photos of the birds on social media. Officials say some of the best spots in town are Centennial Park, the Boat Launch, and Tally Ho Park.
It's pretty amazing. I am lucky enough to live right in Iron Bridge. So you wake up and you hear the eagles in the morning, and they're right there having breakfast along the riverside. It's a pretty neat experience.
Shannon says she and her son on one jaunt along the Mississauga River spotted upwards of 36 eagles. Some witches and warlocks traded in their brooms for paddles in Sudbury. On Friday, these paddlers came out in costume to head out on Ramsey Lake, either on paddle boards, in kayaks, or canoes for the third annual event. The group paddled to Science North and back before enjoying Halloween treats, music, and other activities. The Witches and Warlocks paddle raises money for the Sudbury Food Bank, but organizers say it's a fun way to close out the paddling season.
We decided to team up with the food bank, especially with this significance of the scarcity of the food this year. And I love to do everything with some kind of charity involved. And I just wanted to, end the year off well. This year I had a shoulder injury, so I wasn't able to get out on the lake as much as I wanted to. So I threw in everything this year, the photo booth, my DJ equipment, just the whole 9 yards, because I just wanted this community event just to go out with a bang and just everybody to have a great time.
At the end of this month, the Northern Water Sports Centre will be removing its docks for winter. A remarkable achievement for a group of conservationists in Hilliardton, east of Earlton. The Hilliardton Marsh Research and Education Centre recently banded its 10,000 northern saw-whet owl since the year 2000. The team and volunteers have been banding owls to learn about the species. Through their work, they've learned a lot about the saw-whet, including they're not quite as rare as initially thought.
I think a big part of it for me is we try to get as many people to come out and see the owls, and they're just amazed at how calm and how small, and just how their eyes are this beautiful golden yellow, and people are just captivated by the mystery and beauty of the owls. So especially when we see young kids and their reaction, and parents and grandparents alike, it's just there's a beautiful connection between people and owls that I never get tired of seeing.
And while they've learned a lot, Murphy says there's more work that can always be done. A Hillsbury man struck it rich playing instant gold crown recently. Yvon Laramie walked away with $500,000, saying he's feeling pretty good about his big win. The 73-year-old doesn't know what he'll do with the winnings, but says it will improve his quality of life. And Sault Ste. Marie's Reginald Francis picked up a check for $100,000 after winning Encore back in May. And speaking of winning, there were a couple of games in the OHL to update you on from the weekend, including a Battle of the North in Sudbury between the Wolves and the Battalion.
To the point, Harper steps in, Moses with the shot, and it's a flutter.
I want to welcome back to the troops for Shamar Moses, who was able to find the back of the net. Moses returning to the Gateway City after a short stint down in Barrie. And the Battalion would go on to win this game 3-1, extending the Wolves' early season skid to 6 games. The Sioux Greyhounds got shut out Friday night, losing 5-0 to Brampton Steelheads. Sunday afternoon, the Greyhounds were in North Bay, where they took a commanding 3-0 lead. The troops would fight back, scoring 3 goals in the third period, but it wasn't enough. The Greyhounds win this one 4-3. There were 6 games over the weekend in the NOJHL, half of which needed an extra frame to finalize. Kirkland Lake and Blind River would come out victorious in their overtime tilts. The other game was between the Sioux Eagles and French River Rapids, who both went into their Friday night matchup with 0 wins. Tristan Kitchen snagged the game winner, but the hero of the game was Rapids goalie Kieran Kovrin, who stopped 52 shots, bullying the Rapids out of their 5-game losing streak. The Eagles, not for a lack of trying, go down 3-2 in overtime. And the NOJHL Showcase kicks off tomorrow morning at 11:15 at the Countryside Arena in Sudbury. The Showcase features 12 games over the 2 days, with every team in the league taking the ice. Scouts from all over the country will be in town to check out the talent in our league. And the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack is slaying the competition on the Billboard charts. David Daniel has that and more in tonight's Hollywood Report.
K-pop Demon Hunters is having more than a moment. The soundtrack for the smash hit Netflix animated film returned to the top of the Billboard 200 album chart, beating out the debuts of new albums by Mariah Carey and Doja Cat, among others. We'll see how it fares next week when Taylor Swift's new disc hits the charts.
The real horror to this is that it's realistic.
The new Resident Evil has added cast members. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Kaylee Reese from True Detective Night Country has signed on for the horror franchise reboot, as has Zach Cherry from Severance. Weapons writer-director Zach Kreger is helming the reboot, which begins filming this month and is due in theaters next September.
In a place outside time lies a mystical realm.
You can revisit that realm as The Dark Crystal returns to theaters. The iconic live-action fantasy is getting a re-release in honor of the Jim Henson Company's 70th anniversary. Screenings are October 12th and 13th. Info and tickets at fathomentertainment.com. Seeking the great conjunction in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Your morning cup of coffee will cost you a little more if you get your brew from Timmins. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more on that.
Tim Hortons is raising its coffee prices for the first time in 3 years. The coffee chain will charge 1.5% more per pour, or about 3 cents a cup. Tim Hortons' input costs have risen, with the price of coffee beans alone more than doubling in the last 3 years. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down a fraction to 71.68. West Texas Intermediate crude is up to 61.34. Western Canadian Select is up to 49.48. And the TSX hit another record close again today, gaining 60 points and ending the day at 30,531. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
And here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold up $74.36, closing the day at $39.61.02 US an ounce. Silver up 51 cents to end the day at $48.52. Copper down a penny to $4.80, and nickel moved forward 3 cents, ending the day at $6.90 US a pound. And Rick is back now for one last look at your Tuesday weather.
Okay, let's get a head start as to what we can expect for the next couple of days. First of all, beginning in Greater Sudbury for tomorrow. Clearing in 15, chance of showers in Timmins at 13 degrees. Sault Ste. Marie, be mainly sunny skies and 16 degrees. How about North Bay? 17 in showers tomorrow. Parry Sound, risk of a thunderstorm. A few showers in the forecast, 17 and 16. Temiskaming Shores, gradual clearing, mainly sunny skies. That's our forecast. All eyes on the long weekend coming up. Tony, back to you.
Looks kind of wet, thanks, Rick. Finally, it's called Garba, a centuries-old tradition from India that's quickly become one of the biggest cultural celebrations around. CTV's Sanjay Maru takes us inside one event near Windsor that's been spinning for more than half a century.
Each step in perfect synchronization, no matter the speed, no matter the age. In the Windsor area, this tradition goes back decades with humble beginnings.
Something that started 51 years ago in someone's basement is now taking place in such a big venue like this. And this year, we are so proud.
Proud because of just how many people turned out to the event center in LaSalle over the past 2 weekends for the Gujarati Samaj of Windsor's annual Garba nights. Anyone in the community can join the celebration. And this year, more than 3,000 people did just that. Garba is a traditional folk dance from the Indian state of Gujarat, performed in circular patterns during the 9-night festival called Navratri. The circles represent the cycle of life and togetherness, with dancers moving around a central light that symbolizes inner strength and the power of good prevailing. For those in attendance, Garba nights are as highly anticipated as any major holiday.
All the family friends that we know here for so many years, and it's a lot more fun when you know everybody that you are doing Garba with.
But for others, it's their first time.
I've seen in movies, right? I just wanted to like experience it real life. Hearing about it, it was in my bucket list. It's just how people are coordinated.
Windsor, Essex is far from the only region where Garba brings people together. Around the world, millions take to floors like these every year, moving in the same circles to the same beats.
We are like standing there down, looking at the people. We want to dance over there. Like let's dance over here.
In LaSalle, Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
Folks, thanks so much for watching CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. More news comes your way at 11:30 with Ian Campbell. Good night.